What's up, everybody? We welcome each and every one of you once again to another episode of Walking This Way's Impact Wars podcast. I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr. As also with me, I have the beautiful, spicy Lady D. What's up with you, Desiree?
I am wonderful. How is everybody else this evening?
Doing great, doing awesome. Also, I have another D that's with me. Uh, he's a giver, loves to help everyone with a smile on his face. I got the corn with me. The corn, what's up with you?
I'm good, man. Just excited to be back on. It be seeming like it's so long in between times, but we back.
Oh, you know it, back better than ever. And also, I guess, on the episode, she's a Christian hip hop rap artist. She born and raised right here in Dallas, Texas. She's bold, cutting edge, and a genius. Her name is Harvest. We want to welcome Harvest to our platform here on Walking This Way Impact Voice Podcast.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for having me on the show.
And we thank you as well for hanging out with us here on tonight. We're excited once again to be in your presence. We are live streaming right now on Facebook Live. We are live streaming on Twitter as well as YouTube. So you're on any three of those platforms. Comment. We want to hear from you. If you have questions, if you have any comments, go free to share. Once again, man, we're going to let the games begin here on tonight's episode here on Walking This Ways. So we'll get started with some questions, of course. And my questions to you, Harvest. Let's take us to the beginning. Who is Harvest and introduce yourself for the very first time?
Well, my name is Harvest. I am a CHH Christian hip hop / gospel rapper, singer, worshiper. Like you mentioned, born and raised here from Dallas, the Triple D, Dallas, Texas. There's a lot of different layers I like to say to who I am as an artist and as a minister and entrepreneur. Born and raised here in Dallas. I grew up off and on throughout the church. My great grandmother helped raise me, so a lot of old school principles were instilled in me at a young age, So there's a lot of different facets to who I am that actually encompass the Harvest that you see today. I've been through a lot in my life, a lot of ups and downs like most people. But I like to say that I've learned, from a lot of the seemingly losses. I've took a lot of lessons from those, and it's helped me overcome to be who you see today.
And that's what's up right there. And Desiree, did you want to ask?
No, I just read a little bit about your bio, and I saw that, your mom was a single mom, and I guess your grandmother was the one who helped raise you, and she's the one who actually got you really instilled into the Christian music, right? She had you going up in church and stuff like that. We see a lot of that, and we even with past guests, it's that grandmother that seems to be that inspiration of getting it started for our artists on the show.
Yeah, she was actually my great grandmother.
Okay.
She raised my mother and her siblings. So her grandmother raised her, and she helped my mother raise me. So she's actually my great grandmother. I'm like the matriarch of the family, and she was born in 1913.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and she died at 93, but she was born in 1913, so she lived through the Great Depression, sharecropping. So she's seen a lot. She lived through a lot. And there's a lot of things that she taught me that when I was younger I couldn't really understand, right? But when I became an adult, it's like, I see what she meant when she said that. It's like, oh, she was right. But yeah, she was an awesome woman of faith. Awesome woman of faith.
And isn't that nice to know that she was here to bless you with that many years of knowledge and just seeing how things have, changed over these generations, right? My grandmother is actually here right now from California, and because that's where I'm originally from, and she's 85, and I can only pray that we have many more years, to spend with her, but she's actually in for a month, so we're going to cherish those moments too. So I understand all about those grandmas and great grandmas being in our lives.
And that's what's up. And also, now I got another question for you too, Harvest. I know you mentioned in your bio the music artists that you grew up listening to, such as Betty White, Whitney Houston, Mary J. Blige, Lauryn Hill, the Clark sister, Yolanda Adams. Did they inspire your music career?
Oh yeah. When I was like 5, my dream at the time, I was like, I want to be a singer when I grow up. Michael Jackson and, a lot of his oldies, Beat It, Bad, Billie Jean, just growing up listening to them, pop stars and R&B stars and rap when it first started coming on the scene where it became popular, right? This is when I was a lot younger, so, I was mostly listening to secular rap. At the time, there was no such thing as CHH that I remember, right? It was, hey, NWA, secular rappers who kind of got on the scene, right? Christian rap was not a thing until I think when I got into high school. That's when I started realizing there was such a thing as Christian rap. And it was like, wow, people who can actually rap about God, right? It was a foreign thing. But yeah, all of those heavily influenced me. Since I was young, I wanted to sing. I love to sing. My mother sings actually as well. I grew up listening to her just sing throughout the house all day, 24/7, listening to all the good, the oldies, the stars, the greats, right? Her and my grandmother. My grandmother used to love listening to Mahalia Jackson. I don't know. I might be telling y'all my age with this one, but if y'all remember those big sound systems that look like dressers.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody right? And they would play records.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Look,
she had one of those.
If you have one of those now, you're still using it, but you're using it, as a hutch for some reason.
Yes, you're using it for something else. But she had one of those, right? And so she would listen to these, these actual records. So she had records of Mahalia Jackson and, the Clark sisters and James Cleveland, great gospel greats. Then emerged from there to listening to more contemporary gospel music. But, my mother was of the younger generation. So I was heavily influenced by secular artists, like some of the ones you mentioned, as well as the gospel artists. But yeah, since from a young age, I've always loved to sing. It's always ministered to me. I didn't start actually rapping until I was an adult, until I was married with my now ex-husband. He's actually a rap artist as well, CHH rap artist. So that's when I actually started rapping. But prior to then, I had a love for rap too, growing up in high school. It heavily had an influence on me as well. So I like to think I'm a hybrid, like you mentioned. I mean, on any of my songs, you might hear the first verse being a singing verse. The second verse will be a rap verse. On another song, you might hear totally different. It might be a contemporary Christian worship song. That's because all of these influences, I like to say, heavily impacted who I am as an artist and my love for just good music. I don't like to be put in a box either with that. Like they'll say, stick to one genre of type of music. Like if you're a CHH artist, all your songs need to be rap. If you're a singer, all your songs need to be singing. But hey, I love it all. So why? I figure God doesn't want me to limit myself. So no telling what you might hear from me. You might hear a rock song, a gospel Christian rock song, country, just whatever I'm feeling led to create. It should be a canvas, right? Whatever I'm feeling led by the Spirit to create, that's what I'm going to do. Right. And that was probably a lot more than what you asked for, brother.
Oh, no.
But I could be a little long-winded.
No, you did good, because I want to get off into that. I remember when Christian rap. Reason I'm from Mobile, Alabama. I've been living here in DFW for going on 3 years, and I know when you had Christian rap artists such as Toby, a lot of them groups like that. But then when he came out, you had Kurt Franklin do Stomp, Revolution, and stuff like that. But then it was getting a lot of backlash from the churches, because they didn't believe in it. They didn't believe that you should be rapping in church. They would just say it's worldly, it's of the devil. And a lot of people was going through that, because I was at that time and I was putting together different Christian events. A lot of the churches was against that. They were saying it was worldly, it was not of God. Did you ever experience any of that? Because I know that's how the old heads were, but then they start really gravitating towards it because it was getting a lot of young people at the time inside the church.
Oh yeah, I remember when that came out. Kirk Franklin and Stomp and Revolution, and that was like groundbreaking for us as young people. I mean, literally, it was like chain breaking for us to have some music like that we. But yeah, I experienced that then because I was in the church then when they came out. I wasn't doing rap music at the time. I was just in the church singing. But when that came out, I mean, for me and the people that was in youth ministry with me, we saw that as an avenue outlet for us, right, to express our faith in the way we want to. But the church then, yes, they, some churches didn't want us playing it in the church, didn't want us singing in the church and choir. And truthfully, brother, I experience that now. You would think that more and
Still
more.
going on?
Oh,
Still going on to this day?
Oh, yes, brother. Sad to say, it's still going on to this day. There are some churches, some sects, some denominations, literally, that believe that CHH is of the devil. They're not going to allow you in their church. I have some brothers and sisters that have told me recent in modern times now, like within the last year, couple of years, they've been put out of churches for rapping about God. So it just depends on the church, their beliefs, their doctrinal system, their theology, even the denomination. Yeah, some still don't believe it's of God. It's too worldly. You're trying to take something that's worldly of Satan and make it of God. They don't like the beat. I think a lot of times in their mind, if you're taking a beat that sounds worldly, the whole song is ungodly now. They don't understand that it's not about the track. It's not even about the flow or the way you say the words. It's about the words that you're putting on the music. But they can't see it. So
we agree with you. We had another Christian, artist on the, earlier podcast, and they said the same thing. They said, however it is that we, need to relay the gospel through that. So whether it's through hip hop or whatnot, we're wanting to try to relate to everybody, not just those that are to the standard of Christian music, of how it should be sang. And, we were talking about it with them about how, other people, it's that beat might be what draws them in, but it's those lyrics they're hearing over and over and over that's making the difference. And so that's what's important. Yes, Andrew. And Andrew commented a minute ago too and said that, it should be about different genres. And now he's also saying it is all about the lyrics.
Amen.
It is. And my next question on that too is, when you hear the title Christian hip hop artist, in your own opinion, do you feel labeled just to do music for the church? Because I had artists on here before who used to do mainstream music to convert it to doing Christian music, but then they got labeled being a Christian artist, and they didn't like that. They felt like they was being in the box. And I like when the artist said, you don't hear a mainstream artist, I'm a secular artist. They say music artist. So do you feel like that y'all being labeled? Because they think you're supposed to just stick to doing music for the church, for the believers. But what about for those who don't believe and who may not be walking with Christ as well?
Wow, that's a good question. I mean, I think that's kind of twofold because you're right. They don't label secular artists. They just say music artists. But I think that's their way, truthfully, the industry's way of putting us in a box. I will say that because it's like, okay, if you talk about God and Christ, y'all here, but everybody else is over here. Like we're totally our own little sect of, artists. When I think that's unfair to us because there's so many dope, talented, fire, gifted, anointed men and women of God in gospel and CHH. But on the other side of that coin is the fact that being that we do talk about Christ, Christian, Christ-like, us having that label, I personally don't feel restricted per se by having that label, or offended. I've heard, my counterparts in the industry, some, just totally reject being labeled as a Christian artist altogether, right? But I don't think people like Mary and people who've been labeled for years in the genre of gospel artists are, you know, having an issue with being labeled a gospel artist, because when you go down to get your award, your Grammy Award, your Stellar Award, they're putting everyone into a genre anyway. You know, you're getting an award in the best rock album of the year, the best traditional gospel artist of the year. So I personally don't feel offended by it per se, but I do believe that it does place us in a certain box, because if they hear that you're a Christian artist, a person that might not be saved might immediately be turned off from even listening to your music, right? Um, that's the truth and the reality of it. They just expect and assume that you're gonna be your music gonna be packaged in this way or that way, and they're like, oh, well, I don't want to hear that. I know what they about, and they will be missing out on a great blessing because they don't know what God is gonna do or use through your music at that time for them in their life. But just being labeled Christian, some people are turned off by it, and they're not trying to get past that. So
Right, yeah, because you hear that, and I know a lot of times that's what a lot of them have broke away from that. That's why a lot of them don't go by Christian artists anymore. Lecrae them, they took it to another level. The Triple E's, the Dodger 116, they took it
yeah,
to the next level when it came to mainstream on radio. I ain't gonna lie, back then, some of these up and coming Christian artists, I ain't gonna lie, they just put out garbage. When I say garbage,
they were
they
waxed, right?
their sound wasn't good.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like radio play, and they was just put out junk. But then, if you really want to go compete, what they say against the world, where you have the
Mhm.
artists like Jay Z, the Kanye West, the 50 Cents, and all them, how they sound is, and it made me think about the scripture when Jesus said that the children of this world will be wiser than the children of light. When they say that, because a lot of artists, people that believe, they think they just put junk together and think God gonna bless it. And God don't operate like that. He do everything decent and in order. So I'm thankful to Lecrae's and them how they took it, and Ken Jones them how they took it, investing their sound to make it sound good that it would catch people's attention. I know with y'all music, you want to catch people's attention. Like, oh man, I didn't know that Christian music sound like this, and it's something I can relate to. Because remember what Paul said? Paul said, I became all things to all men that they might be saved.
Look, for me,
I
I
mean,
just think, how are you going to tell anybody how to worship, right? So, and if that's the way that you're worshiping, I mean, listen, it might be a song that should not be hip hop, but if I'm singing it, it might turn into one. I don't trust nothing at that point, okay? And so, but how are you gonna say that that's wrong? If it's the same message that's coming across in the lyrics, no matter which way that we're singing it, who cares? Like, why are we judging? Why are we limiting ourselves?
that's religion. I mean, truthfully, I think the parts of the church that think like that, I think they're afraid of change. They're stuck in the old ways. If God is coming to them in any form or fashion other than what they're used to for generations, they just count it off as not being of God. But what they don't understand is, like I think you mentioned earlier about the youth and the young people. I think the wise, gatekeepers understand that we are competing against, let's face it, the Nicki Minaj's and the people out there, right? Putting out music that's not talking about God, and our young people are really they following them. So we have to give them an alternative. And if you don't give them something as an alternative, don't complain about losing this generation. Don't
Yeah, I
complain
agree.
about it. Give them an alternative. You telling them you don't want them to listen to Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, right? You don't want them listening to all these, but you're gonna tell them on the other end, don't listen to Harvest. She talking about the devil too. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't add up. So until they start as a whole providing our young people with an alternative by allowing us allowing us a platform, a seat, mainstream with the body of Christ. Shout out to Lecrae and Reach Records, like you mentioned. They're doing it, and they've really paved the way when it comes to, like you mentioned, mainstream, taking it to a whole nother level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I would like to see more. I would like to see somebody, truthfully, a female artist on that level rise. Me and some counterparts was talking about that lately. We can arguably say Lecrae's at the top of his game in regards to CHH, right? He's at the top. He's mentioned among the greats, Grammys, etc. There is yet to be a female CHH artist who's even reached close to his level, right? But there's so many out there that's been in the game for years. Um, my prayer as an artist is that one day a CHH, a female artist, would at least rise to somewhat of that level of success in regards to mainstream CHH music.
And we got a question too in the comment section. Desiree, go ahead and read it.
Yeah, so it says, what does Harvest think about CHH and secular collabs, and who would she ever collab with as a secular artist? Good question, Andrew, because I was going to ask her who she wanted to collab with too, so I need you to get up out of my head.
Ooh, that's a good one. I would, when it comes to collabing with secular artists, I don't think I wouldn't have a problem with it personally. I think it depends on the secular artist too. Let me put that there. I wouldn't collab with every secular artist. It just depends on the artist. If they have went to the realm of straight up saying they worship Lucifer or something like that, depending on the situation, I might even be open to that if God is working. It just depends. I believe in being led by the Holy Spirit in whatever I do, right? Because who knows, God might want to use me to be such a light into that person's life to where he might want to come to Christ, right? So who am I to say, no, I won't work with him? That's not, I think, God's way. So it just will be depend on what I believe the Lord wants me to do with whatever artist. In regards to who I would love to work with, secular artist wise, if the opportunity presents itself, there's a couple. I want to rock with my female CHHs. I would love to work and do something with Trina. I don't know if y'all know Trina. I would love to do a collab with her, maybe. I would be open to that. And also, I'll be open to doing a collab with Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, right? Depending on the circumstance, and that's with females. On that side, on the singing side, there's a couple of artists I'll be kind of open to doing too. SZA, I don't know if you guys are familiar with her, the R&B. I would love to do a collab with her and maybe her. Janae Aiko, Jasmine Sullivan. These are women that, even though they're secular, I really respect their gifting. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce, there's quite a few that I respect their gift in regards to their skill, their craft, the quality of their work. So those are the type of people I would like to work with. Same thing in CHH. I love working with fellow CHH and Christian artists who, like you kind of mentioned too before, brother, who do this with a spirit of excellence. You got to. I mean, the fact that we serve a good God, we serve a king, and I don't believe in putting anything out that's going to misrepresent him. When we put out music that's low quality just because we love God, that's not good, right? Yeah. We represent him. So I like to work with artists in general who are like-minded when it comes to stuff like that with me, because I do my stuff in the spirit of excellence. My first single I put out, my debut single, it took me, I don't know how long, a year to release it. People are like, well, Harvest, when are you dropping? Harvest, when are you dropping? I'm not dropping it till it's right, till I think it's right at least, right? And I went to multiple engineer studios, and some people were like, well, it sounds okay. I knew it was lacking. And I didn't stop until I felt confident and comfortable with the work that I put out, So I believe us as believers, we have to be like that in everything we do, really.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, those are some of the people I would love to do collabs with one day if God opens the door, just depending on the circumstance.
And that's what it's all about, working in spirit of excellence. Better to collab and work with different people, different genres of music. That's what it's all about. Being creative. Everybody has a gift, because the Bible says that, our gift will make room for great men. So everybody has a gift. But like the great Dr. Miles Monroe said, those who don't know who he is, he was saying how we should cultivate our gift. We're supposed to work our gift, cultivate it, because we're constantly involved. It's like anything you do, you want to work with the spirit of excellence, especially when it comes to your own project. you want to make sure your last project, your this project is better than the last one. So it's most like being more in competition with self. That's why I love Dr. Dre's work ethic mindset. I was looking at an interview that Dr. Dre did a long time ago, and everybody was talking about the Detox album. And Dre was at an award show, and he said after he leave the show, he had to go right back into the studio because he didn't like how it was sound. He didn't like the sound of it. He was really criticizing his own stuff. And you don't see a lot of people do that, but that's what I respect about Dr. Dre because they all about working in the spirit of excellence. And that's what I love about it because when you work in the spirit of excellence, people respect you more. They will take you seriously when you're doing this. But if you just half stepping, putting out crap, they're not gonna gravitate towards that. And you can't get mad because if they feel like, okay, if you're not passionate about what you're doing, why is me as the customer or whatever should be excited about it?
That's true. I mean, and they, I get the impression that sometimes us as Christian artists, we just expect people to support us because we all love the Lord. Just because you talking about Jesus, people gonna go and buy your album. Just because you talking about Jesus, they're gonna play on the radio. No, it's still business. It's still a market. Even gospel Christian radio stations, if your music is not up to par, they will not play you, sister, brother. I don't care if you talking about Jesus from Genesis to Revelation. You know, you got to have a certain standard and quality when you submit your stuff because they got a lot of people submitting their music and they got a filter. Just like if you're looking for a job, they got one position and the hiring manager have 100 resumes. He gonna have to cipher through the crappy ones to select the one. So it's like that with this industry of music. If your music not up to par, you're not even going to be able to compete with those who are submitting that is up to par. Engineering, production, writing. I mean, it's so much that's involved with that. Where I think artist development is so important. You know, as an artist, you know, just having that artist development, taking the time to develop your craft, work on your writing, work on production, work on, you know, find the people, the key players you need to ensure that your stuff is right. You know, you might not know how, like, I don't make tracks. I don't engineer. That's not my lane, right? But finding those who do know how to make tracks, who do know how to engineer, mix and master, to get your stuff sounding right to where you can at least compete sound wise with your counterparts in the industry. We're not going to talk about the world because, you know, when I listen to their stuff, sometimes they stuff be so awesome when it comes to the production, the mixing, the mastering. This some things I do in my spare time. Yeah, I will listen to my music and my fellow CHH artists' music, right? And I will play it back to back to secular music and compare and just listen to the quality, right? The mix, the mastering, the writing, the flow. And that's what I do. And I be thinking of ways that we can do better, me as an artist and the industry as an artist can do, I mean, as an industry can do better as a whole. Because yeah, they have a lot of times the money, not gonna say the skill. I'm not gonna say that because I think we have key players and people in the church per se that makes church gospel Christian tracks and music production that are highly gifted and talented. But I think we just need to do a better job at making sure everything we do is in a spirit of excellence.
I agree 1,000%. And you know what, Harvest, you mentioned something, and there's a thing that some people, I would say, individuals are scared of investing their money. You know, we
Yes.
talked about this on the show before too. It's like people want freebies all the time, but they're not willing to go and invest. If money's the issue, I tell anybody, if you're working right now on your job, if you go pick up some extra hours on your job, you know, in order for you to invest what you want. Everything don't come out the sky. Everybody look for freebies, and when it comes to prices, when it comes to how much it's gonna cost, they want to try to manipulate you. You know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna manipulate Apple. You're not gonna manipulate
That's
Gucci.
true.
You're not gonna manipulate Jordans. I'm telling you, when the new J's come out, you're not finna say, "Oh, they too expensive." You're gonna pay that $225, depending on where you get them from. But when it comes to our projects, when it comes to our dreams, we don't want to invest the money. It's that you got to break the algorithm on that in order for you to take it to the next level. You know, and that's what I just believe in because some people are scared just to invest money.
That's I don't know what type of mindset I would call that, brother. It's definitely not a kingdom mindset. I mean, I don't even know what word I would call that. That's something I can tell. I don't know what type of partnership Lecrae had with Zaytoven, who produced his album "Let the Trap Say Amen."
Hmm.
I know he produced, and he's a secular producer, right? But
Right.
he produced that entire album in partnership with Lecrae. Um, I don't know how much money he paid Zaytoven, but I do know because of Lecrae's work that he doesn't mind investing. And he was grinding for years. He's from Dallas, DFW area, so he grinded for years playing the colleges here, you know,
Mm.
and investing and sacrificing. So that's why he's at where he's at today. He didn't mind investing, grinding, and sacrificing. We don't want to sacrifice, like you mentioned.
Mhm.
Like me personally, I sometimes I got my foot is fractured now, so I'm not able to do some of the things I was doing. But I took a little part-time job. I DoorDash. That helps me fund some of my stuff in ministry. I'll admit to that. I DoorDash. I be out there DoorDashing hard because guess what? The alternative would be me just putting something out there or me just not getting it done. And I'm at the point in my career, in my life, that's not an option. I believe God, He provides you. He says He give you the will and the power to get wealth, and He will give you a way to do the vision. If He gave it to you, a vision, He will give you provision. If it's from God, He will provide. Right? You just have to look for His provision. It might not come in the way you expect it. Like you might expect Him to just throw money out the sky, and that's not how you're gonna do it.
Wouldn't
He
that
might
be
say,
nice?
"Okay, wouldn't that be awesome?" He might say, "Well, here's an idea. You can do this part-time to make money." You know, so we have to just look for those avenues and ways, and maybe stop eating out as much through the week. You spend $50 a day eating out. Put some of that money towards your.
Girl, there goes your DoorDash business. You better not tell them to quit.
You're right. Never mind. Y'all eat out as much as y'all want.
Mm.
You need to reevaluate that whole thing, okay? Maybe say cutting back on something else, but not what's helping you support that business, girl. She was just kidding. Don't take her serious. So I would have a question. So for any of the, younger artists or even, some that have been trying for a while, so this is going to be kind of two-part, did you find yourself in a spot where you were questioning, like, if you were going to make it, like if it was going to be successful for you? And then if so, what advice would you give for those that might be struggling at that same point?
Ooh, yes. And actually, I have my days now. If I just be real, I have seasons now where doubt will come and be like, "Oh Lord, is this for me? Did you really call me to this? Do you want me to keep going? I'm tired. I think maybe I need to stop. Maybe I need to shift into a different season doing something else," right? So I have my times now where that comes, and will, affect me per se. But I would say is to any young artist, know that you're gonna go through seasons of ups and downs in your faith. That's just part of life. Don't allow the doubt to linger. You have to reject it. And you have to be so rooted and grounded in what you believe God has told you to do. You have to know without a shadow of a doubt that it's for you, that this is what you've been called to do. Seek God, and if He confirms that this is what you've been called to do, you need to be resolved in your spirit not to allow nothing to stop you. I don't care if you don't have the money. I don't care if you don't have the support. I don't care if you're feeling like your gift is less than, you're comparing yourself to other people. I don't care if you lost your job, or you had a child, or you got divorced, or whatever the situation is that life will throw at you. You continue the course. You continue to push. You continue to work the good thing that you believe God has called you to do, be it an artist, be it a minister, whatever that is, and know that your work is not in vain. That's what keeps me going when the doubt comes. I know that at the end of the day, everything I'm doing is for God and God alone, right? And I just know that He's getting the glory from it, and that I will be rewarded, and that He's rewarding me now, and that He will continue to reward me, and that it's not in vain.
Yeah, we talk about always remembering your why behind everything. When you're having doubt, remember your why. When you're out there serving, why are you serving? what is the reason? What is your purpose behind it? And as long as you keep that, close to heart, then it'll all fall into place. But those struggles are actually what helps us to even feel more accomplished in the end, right? When you're having those days that you think, oh my gosh, for weeks, I did not think I was going to come out of this. And then all of a sudden you see it bloom and you're like, all right, like you feel more proud of yourself. Then I know I do personally than to have something just handed to me and an easy going. And so
Yes.
I think that we're also, sometimes, even in, our faith, those struggles are what helps us also draw ourselves personally closer to the Lord. And so maybe that's the purpose. Maybe, he already knows that it's going to be successful, but he's wanting you to kind of draw a little closer to him during that time. And it's always about humbling yourself through any experience when you're growing in any profession that you're doing. So I definitely would have to say that. DeJuan, I know we've been talking. Did you have any questions that you wanted to ask Harvest? I'm sorry.
No, y'all good. Y'all know I'll wait for my questions.
I know,
I
but we're
actually
so
do.
glad to have you back tonight. So I want to give you that opportunity.
Hey, I got a question. Something you said earlier, Harvest, on more work having to be done as far as the Christian music production. The sound. Do you ever think maybe it's because it's the Lord we talking about, and they ain't trying to step on do nothing wrong that get them a judgment? Do you think maybe they just like, hey, maybe I want to just keep it an original sound, or I don't want to do too much because I don't want to be disrespectful to the Lord? Do you ever think maybe that plays into production or work?
When you say, when I was thinking production, I meant just the quality of the track sound, the mix and mastering of the overall project. But when you talk about maybe doing too much, are you talking about in the song itself in regards to the lyrics
Um,
itself,
but
or
it's the sound too, because I feel like maybe because it's easier to put out music that's degrading or less sanctified. It's easier to see, you can you maybe they feel it's more of a better outcome. But then when it comes to Christian music, maybe there's more doubt because they're thinking, hey, just as you said earlier, maybe they'll be rejected, or maybe people may not hear the sound. But do you ever think maybe it just plays a role in how things come out?
yeah, I do. I do believe that. I know as Christian artists, sometimes we probably do struggle with even the music. If we're making it for quote unquote church people or Christians, we struggle with our lyrics, struggling with not going too hard, right? On certain scriptures and certain doctrines, right? Because you don't want to uh, ruffle too many feathers, maybe to hearers, because certain truths in the Bible are hard to swallow for some people, right? Um, so sometimes us as artists might try to water down even our message in the songs we create for the church. So I mean, yeah, I do think that probably do play a part in the overall quality and the production, and the packaging of our music. Um, my thing though, regardless of the lyrics per se, I think that it needs to come up with it being a certain high standard across the board, and making sure that when I listen to your music, it don't sound like you recorded in your bathroom tub. You know what I'm saying?
Girl,
And
that's where I do my best singing.
I know, but we shouldn't record there, sis. And put it out. I mean, I do too, but I won't record it. I mean, but some of our music, it's like we just be so happy to do something for God. It was like, and just put it out there. We so happy for the world to see what we doing, and we don't understand that that's not good. We should still do it in a spirit of excellence, because what we represent God. He's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, right? We represent a king. We're part of his kingdom, and I just think that everything we do, be it in business, in our family life, in our relationships, um, on the job, in ministry, if you're a pastor, or you minister at a church, whatever you do, if you are on The sanitation committee at your church, and your job is to do nothing but vacuum the church and clean the restrooms.
Do it with pride
Do
and do
that
it with
in a
excellence.
spirit and excellence. You be the best toilet cleaner, the best vacuumer that's there. You know, that's just how I think we should approach everything we do in our life. Because
Yeah, I
God has
agree.
been too good to us, y'all, for us to be trifling. And I'm just gonna say that. For us to be trifling and slack on the stuff we do for him.
I
He don't
agree.
owe us anything.
I agree.
We
Not to be
sometimes feel
lazy.
entitled, right? You know,
Right.
like, no.
To
agree.
everything in life.
To
We have
everything
that.
in
Not to be
life.
lazy.
Yes,
Not
yes.
Yeah.
to be lazy. I agree, because if you want to be a doctor, what you gonna have to do?
That part, right?
If you want to be a doctor, you got to go to medical school, right? You're not just
A lot of
you're not
years.
just finna walk in and say I'm a doctor today. Nah, you got to go get the training, the qualification to become a doctor. That's just how life is, and that's how God set everything up. If you're against that, then that's on you. But God set everything up. Because what it is, some people they want shortcuts. You know, we talk about this on the show all the time. They want the instant gratification. And if you get it overnight like that, then you need to watch yourself, because it ain't gonna last long. But just the quality of the work, the quality of the sound. Anything you do, you want to do it at what, 1,000%, right?
Amen.
So you don't want to put out, 'cause the book, the 80-20, and I got this book in my library. It talks about always put yourself in the customer's shoes. Is this something that would you really buy? Because you think about it, you taking these people have listed their time, their money, their resources to hear you out, buy a product from you. And if it's half step and if it's not good, I'm not gonna pay for it. So you can't get mad at them because they don't want to pay for it, because they're gonna tell you it sounds like crap, it's not good. Like you said, if you go to these Christian radio stations, they listen to it. If it's not good, like you said, they're gonna throw it out. It's not to be mad at them. They have, at the end of the day, it's a business they have to run.
You know, Harvest, you mentioned
Right.
something that, you know, I feel like it bothers me, and I know it's the reality of it, but, you know, even just you saying how, you know, things have to be watered down. The thought of knowing that we would have to reserve any way that we're wanting to you know, to worship, any way that we're wanting to spread the word, the gospel. You know, I've never been to a church where I have said, whoa, he's just preaching too loud to me. You know, if anything, I'm like, I'm feeling that message, right? When that message is coming at me hard, I feel like, okay, hold up, who called him and told him I was going through this in my life? And so, you know, if you think about it, when it comes to the music, you know, and especially to hit our younger generations that need to feel that impact, when we turn on a song, if that beat is not, you know, if we're not feeling it in the beginning, we just skip right through to the next song. We don't even pay attention to the lyrics. But if it can touch them in that moment from the very beginning, then you're going to have more of that younger generation wanting to listen to it. The ones that are, you know, and then, like I said before, it's playing over and over to them. But, you know, for anybody to have to, you know, water themselves down to do what they are passionate about, that's just heartbreaking for me. Because I'm extra, girl. I'm extra. I'm going all in. You either like it or you don't. And so I don't water it down. So I hate for anybody else to have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have to. And I'm not going to say per se we, because some of my stuff is, I consider myself out the box. You know, I write and put out music I believe God was wanting me to put out. You know, wherever I'm at in my life, discipleship wise or devotion wise, you hear that in my music, because every song I put out, that's where I was at that time in my own personal walk. But I think because of the church, well, a lot of sex in the church ostracizing us still as CHH artists, it's like we sometimes have a hard time finding our lane, because it's like you're trying to win the world, but you're also trying to win the church. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're in the between. And you can't really please both, right? And the truth of the matter is you'll be able to reap some souls from both, because we know everybody in the church ain't saved. You know, just going to church, right? So you'll be able to glean some people from probably the church, the organization, institution of the church, right? Religious folks. You also be able to win some souls from the world. But it's definitely a line, and it's a special craft. You have to learn how to do it, I believe. I think Lecrae does a good job at that as a CHH artist. I think that's why God has elevated him to the platform that he's in, right? He's got on that platform, and I don't think he's compromised, his faith to get to that level. But even him, trust me, there's certain things he probably will not put in his music. That's strict, that is in the Bible, but he won't probably rap about it because it's not politically correct. And a lot of his fans in the church and outside of the church might stop rocking with him. If you listen to one of his albums, I don't know if it was the Anomaly or one of his albums, he kind of talked about the season that he went through depression, and he was drinking and just a lot of things he was going through where he wanted to stop doing gospel music because he got out of flack from a lot of Christians in the church because he spoke out about Trayvon Martin and certain things that was going on in his music and just speaking out about it. But he got, he lost fans. He talked about that in the music, losing a lot of fans because of some of the things he spoke out against. So stuff like that, we are divided, if I just tell you the truth, as the body of Christ, on a lot of different issues. And we shouldn't be. We should be one, one body like the Bible says. But when it comes to certain things, scriptures that we divided on in regards to agreement on doctrine. That's why there's 33,000 denominations. If we can't even agree on whether or not we should get baptized or not.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It just makes it difficult for CHH artists because the church overall is divided.
Yeah, I think you got to find that happy median to still stay true to yourself. I definitely understand and I respect that because you don't want to upset anybody, but at the same time, you do want to get your message out there. So we are definitely loving everything that we're talking about, and we definitely have more questions for you whenever we get back, and also a few announcements of what's going on in the community here in Dallas-Fort Worth. But we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break real quick, and then we'll be right back with you guys in just a few minutes.
With today's technological advances and fast-paced life, BMS is your trusted next-generation IT solutions provider that keeps you ahead of the competition. From humble beginnings, BMS Company is now one of the fastest-growing software engineering service providers, with international presence and golden reputation for excellence. The BMS Company is your one-stop global destination for web development, mobile application development, digital marketing, SEO, Facebook and Google advertising, social media management, business consulting, printing services, and many more. BMS is trusted to provide timely, cost-effective solutions. At BMS, we believe in providing guaranteed results, irrespective of a project's complexity. No stories, no excuses. And core to all of our operation is that we practice what we preach, and we deliver what we promise. We're proud of our dream team of solution-driven enthusiasts comprising of industry experts in various fields, including blockchain, IoT, and AI. Our unique makeup and cooperate synergy enables BMS to add heart to technology while delivering our trademark exceptional results for our esteemed customers. Get free 3 months of hosting and 30 days SEO when you partner with us today. Call us now on 469-992-4567 or visit our website at thebmscompany.com.
What's up, everybody? We are back here on Walking This Way's Impact Wars podcast. Of course, I am Furman Jackson Jr. I'm the CEO and founder of Walking This Way's Impact Wars, along with Lady D herself with me in the building, as long as D as well, the corn with me on tonight. Our guest is Harvest. She's a native of Dallas, Texas. We know that the whole entire month of May, we've been doing the New Faces of Dallas series. It's been excellent. It's been awesome. Of course, we had a lot of great people that came on here for the month of May representing the DFW, and I appreciate y'all for what y'all doing here in the great state of Texas. We're very excited, honored to have y'all here on the platform with your Harvest as well, and we're having a good conversation. A lot of stuff been talking about. I also want to give a big shout out to Paige Jackson as well. Paige Jackson was on this morning's show at 10 a.m. Go back and check it out. We had a great conversation on that, so big shout out to her. And also, man, I want to tell everybody we're very thankful, we're very grateful that as I was doing my daily checks on our social media when it comes to the podcast on Spotify, Apple, we have reached 200 episodes. So that's a big for us. And not only that, we have 1,000 downloads as well for the show. So we thank everybody for supporting us, staying consistent. And I say that all the time, stay consistent, involved, and that's what it's all about. But we're back. So we're going to finish our conversation with Harvest. Harvest, we appreciate you once again hanging out with us. And of course, me, I'm being a gentleman. So I'm kicking it off with Desiree. Desiree, go ahead and fire it away.
He knows to kick it off with me when he sees my mouth go like I'm going to cut in on him. So can you tell us, do you have any events coming up that anybody in the community, it's the truth, Harvest, I cut him off all the time. That's why Daquan says he'll wait his turn. He knows I'll do it to him too. So is there anything that's going on? Are you hosting any events in the community, coming up that you would like to go ahead and announce so that anybody that's listening in that wants to come and hear you or support you in any way, just go ahead and throw that out there to us at this time.
Yes. I'm so excited. There's a lot of things going on. Well, first, if you're in the DFW area, Taste of Soul Mesquite is going down on Memorial Day weekend. That's Sunday the 28th. I'll be there performing along with the ladies of the Female CHH Empowerment Tour. We're going to be on the lineup there. So that'll be our first actual stop as the Female CHH Empowerment Tour. But the actual tour itself will kick off June 10th, and that's also in Mesquite, Texas. I'm going on tour with a group of other fire dope female CHH artists from the DFW area. My sister D-Lane, Choice, Brittany Harrelson, Fruits of the Spirit, which is a female duo group. We have our DJ Epiphany. She's a female DJ, super dope. Trying to make sure I don't leave out anybody, Lord. So it's me, Choice. I want to make sure because I'm going to be like, Harvey, me, Choice, Epiphany, D-Lane, Brittany, Fruits of the Spirit. So yeah, all of us, we're going on tour this summer, y'all. First stop is Mesquite, Taste of Soul, which is May 28th. Then it's going to be back in Mesquite again, June 10th. And then July the 8th, we're going to be in Tyler, Texas. And then July 22nd, we're going to be in Dallas, Texas. And there's more dates possibly to come, but those are the ones that are locked in right now. Oh, and also, I think we're going to New York in August. So just go to our website if you guys are in the area, www.femalechhempowermenttour.com, femalechempowermenttour.com. You'll be able to see where we're at. You can get tickets, you can support, rock with us, come hear us, follow us, all that great stuff.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Bourbon.
I was going to mention when Harvard was saying, I mentioned earlier, she was talking about the women. And I know it made me think about Kelly. Kelly mentioned the story. She went to Kelly's an R&B artist out of Atlanta. And she mentioned it when she was going in Apollo, they wanted her to dress a certain type of way, and she rejected it. Now, if you meet Kelly, you see on social media, she's very classy. She's not all over the place. When all over the place, she's not showing a lot of her body. She's not doing any bending over and nothing. She's very classy. And they wanted her to wear some type of revealing outfit, and she turned it down because she wanted them to wanted the artist to focus on the gift than her body. And I know a lot of times when you're a female and you're in this game of music, they want you to be shown for your sex appeal. Show the cleavage, show the body, and not focus more on your gift. So I respect Kelly for not compromising, but believing what she's staying in, because it's all about the gift and not about the physical sex appeal that they want you to demonstrate in order for you to get over with the people.
Yeah, that's unfortunately, that's crept over into the church. I mean, I've heard, which is crazy. I have a fellow CHH female artist who's had that, proposition to her with just in the church arena to dress a little bit more seductive or sex or revealing, right? I think sometimes we misconstrue femininity for, sexuality in regards to dress, right? My thing with that is you definitely don't want to bring the attention off of God and Christ. We're ministers of the gospel first, right? So if you're presenting us as women, we have to really be careful, to make sure that we present ourselves, again, spirit of excellence, right? present ourselves as daughters of the King. Speaking of that, we have a mixtape, y'all, called Daughters of the King, available on Bandcamp from the Female CHH Tour. It's called Daughters of the King. But yes, Daughters of the King. And he talks about dressing in modesty. That's certain things we don't talk about in our music. There's a lot of things in the Bible that you just don't hear a lot of artists rapping about, because unfortunately, truthfully, as a whole, the Christian culture, they've gotten loose. There's no other way I can put it, right? You allow to go to any church on any Sunday morning, and the woman that's leading worship, no telling what she might have on to wear. Trust me, my brothers probably be struggling to really get into the presence, right? Because of what she has on. I'm keeping it real.
Right.
So, and no one in the church is gonna. The old church mothers who used to make you put on something to cover up if you're gonna sit on the front seat, you can't have on no skirt way up here, where the men in the pulpit can't really focus on giving a word because all they see is. We don't have that in the church anymore, because people. You see, y'all got me on my soapbox, but I'm just telling you what. Because people don't want to lose members.
Oh yeah.
They want to fill their seats, but what we got to understand is, if we're about kingdom, you want to win souls, not members. You want to win souls, not bodies. So you can have a mega church full of bodies, and they're not. You don't have souls. And we think because there's people there that you winning souls, and that's not the case. There's so many scriptures in the Bible that talks about us being deceived into thinking that us doing all these religious things and stuff is going to earn us a place in the heaven into the kingdom. In Matthew, I think it talks about, those leaders that come to the Father on the day of judgment and say, didn't we prophesy in your name? Didn't we preach in your name, do all manner of wonderful works in your name? And God the Father says, hey, depart from me into everlasting flames. I never knew you. You work iniquity. Those are religious leaders. Unsaved people don't be walking around healing people in the name of God. They don't walk around preaching Jesus or claiming to preach Jesus. These are religious people that are claiming to be of the household of faith. They're doing all these religious acts in God's name, but it was in vain because they never knew him. So I think the church as a whole has become commercialized, and social media has made it worse. It's become commercialized to where leaders are more focused on the pomp, being famous, building their churches, and not building people and discipleship. So they have churches full of people, but there's not really no true disciples of Christ. And that's why they're not going to correct some things they might see from people that are in the church that are doing things that are not of God. And I'm not talking about people just not coming to church. I'm going to clarify this, because I believe you have to win a fish before you can clean it. So if you have a sister, the first days of my Christian ministry, it was street ministry, straight hood. I'm from Oak Cliff, and that's, one of the churches I went to was right next to hotel, motel, prostitutes, crackheads, everything, walk up and down the street in front of the church. We were witness to the crackheads. We had strippers and whores, excuse my French, come to the church all the time. Yeah. And they tithe faithfully and religiously. Okay. I'm saying that to say that I'm not talking about the people who are not saved trying to come, they thirsty and want Jesus and they come to church. You meet them where they at, right? You don't say, oh no, baby, you can't come in, you don't want to turn them away. But once a person has come to Christ and they've been in church for so long, and if you discipling them and you teaching them what thus said the Lord on certain issues, there should come a point in time to where you should be able to correct and rebuke them. If this woman that been in church and she didn't come in and you didn't correct her about wearing a mini skirt, jumping up and down and worshiping at first, there comes a point in time where you need to get to a place where you can correct her and say, okay, baby, that's not really how we want to dress, especially if we up worshiping, leading people to God, because we don't want to tempt our brothers into sin and lusting, right? We want to always keep the focus on Christ, right? But if we're afraid to do that, I personally think that's an indictment on who we're trying to please. You trying to please God or just keep your pews filled? So I don't struggle like that in regards to my dress. I mean, because I'm a hip hop artist, so I think because of the stuff I rap and sing about, I could wear my jeans, my kicks. You know, I haven't had anybody to try to get me to dress immodest because of the type of music I do. For the most, I mean, you know, I've had anyone say anything about my dress. You know, I dress, if y'all look at the way my attire uses jeans. I wear dresses too, but for the most part, my attire is jeans and shoes and t-shirts and stuff like that. But if I wear a dress, it's definitely going to be a certain length. Shorts. I was trying to find some shorts. They don't even make shorts modest no more. I'm just keeping it real. They don't even make them modest no more. All the shorts are Daisy Dukes, way short, and I'm not a thin woman. Now, I will say this, if you're super thin, you can probably wear certain things that are short, right, and get away with it. Harvest, I like to say I'm fluffy. I'm big bone, you know, down south, beans, cornbread eating girl. So with that being said, I can't be wearing no shorts like that. It's just, no. So when I buy shorts, they're going to be, what they call them shorts? Bermuda shorts. Because anything shorter than Bermuda shorts, it's just not what that is. It's not going to look close to being modest on me, for sure. So we have to make sure we represent Christ when we step out the house, and especially if we talking about we ministering for him and up before his people. We got to just represent him. As that old saying, what would Jesus do? We should really ask ourselves that before we make a move. Before you dress, before you get up to minister, perform, before you speak, before you act. Okay, if I do this, will God be pleased with this? Is he going to be glorified by my actions? Or will he be embarrassed? You know, will he be embarrassed that I'm representing him like this, or misrepresent him, should I say? Because a lot of us, we misrepresent Christ, and we wonder why our ministries are not effective. You can't blame the people. You know,
Right. It makes sense. So he said, if he be lifted up, he'll draw all men unto him. And that's what it's all about, lifting him up. And he'll draw all men unto him, and just being that example. My next question is, how is the Christian, how is the hip hop music scene here in Texas when it comes to the Christian community?
when you say the hip hop scene, you mean just overall? I mean, it's a wealth of artists, talented, gifted artists. I mean, there's so much. There's so many people here that are super duper dope, doing their thing for the Lord and for the kingdom. I know personally, and I'm meeting more and more each and every day as I go on this journey that I didn't even know was here. I mean, there's so many here. It's a wealth. You know, Texas is kind of even the Bible Belt, you know, as you would call it, the Bible Belt. So there's a lot of artists here, gospel and Christian, just in general. And we do have support here. We have a lot of support that we do get from people here as well. I would like to see more support from the church, but I think that's probably in every state. I don't think it's just distinct.
It's in every state. It's like that
Right.
in Alabama too, I'm from Mobile.
Yeah, it's just overall. But the scene here is flourishing. I mean, you could do, I don't know, probably tours for years with just the artists from DFW. It's such a diverse group of different styles in CHH. Like, I know a brother, he's the only reggae Christian rap artist I know. He's from Florida. Shout out to him if you listen to Keep Music, man. He's super dope, but he's a Christian reggae artist. He's here in DFW. He's the only one in DFW that I've met. There might be more. We have a lot of traditional type of CHH East Coast field artists here. We got, of course, down south genre CHH artists. Then we have those that sing and rap like myself and my girl Brittany. My boy Big G, he got that Swisher House, H-Town, rapping, singing, you know, style, Charlie Boy style. So I'm telling you, on any given night, you come to any CHH event here in DFW, you're going to be blessed. You're going to get a wealth of different styles. And when we come together, y'all, we turn all the way up. I'm telling you, we turn up. So we got a lot. We got a lot here.
And that's what's up right there. I mean, just coming together, the collabing, the work, the spirit of excellence is a part of it. Let's talk about entrepreneurship. You mentioned that you're an entrepreneur. How long have you been an entrepreneur?
I've been a serial entrepreneur for years, y'all. I've been a serial entrepreneur for years, off and on. My first career day at 5, I went to school, said I wanted to be an entrepreneur because that was one of the things my mother instilled in me, drove home in me, when I was a little girl. Even though I work professionally now in corporate America for the government, actually, I still have my own business and ministry on the side, and I've always had something. I believe that we should have multiple streams of income if God sees fit. That is actually the pathway to generational wealth. We hear about that nowadays, but you're not going to get that with maintaining one source of income, be it a job or whatever it is, right? You want to diversify and have multiple streams, not put all your eggs in one basket, right? If you're depending on one source, when that source is gone, you have nothing else to fall back on. I think King Solomon, when I was doing my research, had 7 streams of income. Of course, he inherited a lot of those from his father, David. But the fact is, he's considered one of the wealthiest men to ever live because of his wisdom with his money, his investments, and his streams of income. So entrepreneurship, I think, is one pillar of that, building generational wealth. You need to have something, a business, some type of entrepreneurial project or feat in addition to your day job. So I've always been in something, be it network marketing, be it freelance, be it my own company, LLCs, etc. Right now I have Harvestigy. That's at harvestigy.com. Pretty much what I specialize in with that is assisting businesses, organizations, ministries, artists, singers, etc. with various administrative functions, facilitation, be it from developing a strategic plan to get your business to where you want to go, be it developing business plans, be it registering your business, social media marketing. If you're an artist, be it publishing, with a PRO, public rights organizations like BMI, ASCAP, getting all your royalties, your mechanical royalties, your digital royalties from SoundScan, Sound Exchange, and certain places where you're collecting all your money, right? I'm noticing some artists that are up and coming, they're not familiar with some of these things. So they're possibly losing their writing, publishing royalties from, ASCAP, BNI, whatever publishing right organization. And they're losing their digital royalties from Sound Exchange when it comes to radio play. Just little things that artists and authors might not be aware of. So I help with that, as well as with ministers and other organizations with some of the similar functions and tasks. So that's something that I'm doing on that side, but also I have my merch line, and I also do Primerica life insurance. So I have a couple of things that I have my hands in. Again, I believe in diversification, multiple streams of income, just to fund the vision that God has given me, and also just hopefully set up some things that build generational wealth for me and my children as well. So
Right. Yeah,
Well, we definitely love all of the different talents that we see from all of our, guests that have been on the show, especially this month of May, since we're doing all of the new faces of Dallas Fort Worth. And so in going into, our entrepreneurs, definitely want to go ahead and mention to anybody that's listening in is that our guest last night is doing a event called Operation Warm and Cozy. They're needing some volunteers. This is also going to be held on July let me see. My eyes be getting bad after no sleep. July 8th, and that's going to be at 10 a.m. and it's in downtown Fort Worth. It'll be by the PNS Presbyterian Night Shelter. They're also going to be needing, if anybody out there has any new or gently used purses, they want to see if you would be interested in donating those purses so that they can fill them with any kind of toiletry items. If you have toiletry items, if you have anything like gloves, if you have socks, anything that you could fill in those purses, what the group does is they, make sure that they're giving those out to the females in the community that could benefit from those items. So we definitely want to be able to support that event. So if you are in that area on July 8th, please go support them. And that's going to be with the Begal's Boutique. And they're also going to have Take Heed and lip service crew that is going to be there to take care of all of your needs. So we want to support them wholeheartedly. Also want to give a shout out to Miss Sabrina Ford, who is hosting an event in Tyler, Texas, and that is going to be held on. Don't give me the line to y'all again, okay? Y'all know. Look at I even said it how many times on my on my little page, and I still lost my date there. That's going to be on June 11th, and that's going to be in Tyler, Texas, and that is going to be a event to help to support any male or female entrepreneurs. Okay, it's called the 2023 With Purpose Tour. They will be in Tyler, Texas, and that is going to be from 12 until 5. And you can also find all of these different events on either Furman's, Daquan's, or my page. You're definitely going to find it on Daquan's stuff because he shares with everybody and he loves to tag us. And we are so supportive of all of the great efforts he's doing to help any business here locally and outside of Dallas. So definitely look at our pages. Once you find it on one of our pages, share it. We would love to give them our support and also give back to our community.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Desiree, with the latest announcement from things that's taking place here in the great state of Texas, of course. And of course, our featured guest tonight is Harvest. She's an artist here in the DFW, born and raised here in Dallas, Texas. I know she mentioned entrepreneurship, working. We talk about a lot of great stuff. Let's talk about talk about working in the spirit of excellence, having that drive, having the input to make things sound good, because you at the end of the day you want to bless somebody. At the end of the day you want your music to change someone's life. You never know what a person's going through, dealing with, because we know right now in our neighborhood somewhere somebody's dealing with something, whether it may be depression, anxiety, whether it may be physically abused, sexually abused. We just never know. Someone may be contemplating suicide. We just don't know. But by your words can change somebody's situation. Just like when Jesus was on the scene, sometimes he didn't have to go to the place. He just gave a word, and that individual ran with that word and believed that word. We know that words are powerful. Even Solomon said, "Death and life is the power of the tongue. You should eat the fruit thereof." So, how important is that to you? That when someone comes to you and say, "You know what? I've thought about taking my own life," but it's something that you said in your song really just changed my life.
And that's everything to me. I've had some people actually tell me some things like that about my music after they heard and how much it has impacted their life tremendously. So pretty much that's what I do it for. That's my why. We talked about why earlier. That's my why. It's not to be famous. It's not to have 1 million likes. It's not to not even really to make money per se, even from what I do. My why is my reward is to know that the words I speak, to know that my gift and my talent, the work I'm putting in for the kingdom is actually blessing another person's life. That's the greatest reward. I think that's a kingdom reward. That's a spiritual reward that can only be given, in the spirit. So that's everything to me. I try to write my music with that in mind too. When I create, that's kind of my process. It usually starts with where I'm at spiritually, with my walk, my devotion time, and I ask God to show me what he wants to say to his people. Us as artists, we are ministers. Those of us who consider ourselves CHH artists, we are ministers of the gospel first. The only difference between us and a pastor in the pulpit is we just using a different medium to bring his message across. But nonetheless, we are ministers. We are preaching over tracks. So I think the same preparation that a man of God in a pulpit uses a lot of times to prepare their message on Sundays before they get up before his people, we should take the same spiritual excellence in preparation before we just write a song to put out there. Because words, like you mentioned, are important. The Bible says the power of life and death is in the power of the tongue. Power of life and death is in our words. If we move with that in mind, we'll be quick to listen and slow to speak.
Yes.
We'll be quick to make sure that the music the lyrics we write is in line with God's words, his principles, and it's what God wants us to tell his people that in that season. We just won't just put music out there and expect just because we God is in it. No, every good thing is not a God thing. You know,
Yeah,
there's
I agree.
yeah.
I agree so much. And and Furman, before I also forget, for Miss Fleming too, I would love to put out there, and you'll find this shared on my page as well. The Stars United Global Outreach. They are going to be doing a teen summer camp. That is going to be in South Dallas. So it's going to be at the Winner's Circle, 1709 Martin Luther King, Dallas, Texas. And that is June 5th through the 16th from 10 until 6, Monday through Friday. Guys, if you can volunteer to help out this group, definitely please, message us. I'll get you in contact with her or somebody else from the organization. They're also needing donations as far as if anybody would like to come and be speakers to these young children that are at this youth program, as well as any kind of like supplies, books, food, snacks, waters, you name it. I don't think at this point that you can give anything that's not worth receiving. So if you are interested in donating for that, if you're interested in going and volunteering to help be a mentor for these young adolescents there, please make sure that you get in touch with one of us as well. Go to my page. I'll share it again on my page so it's fresh on the feed. But then also, I'm going to shout out to Miss Latanya. If you've not ordered your book, please, she was a guest on our show. Go to her page, go to my page. It is called I Got Issues, and an amazing book. And I just definitely want to continue to support her in her journey. And then I don't have it pulled up, but I'm sure one of you might, is Kelly Morgan's got an event coming up as well. We definitely want to make sure that anybody that's listening in will support that. I believe it's going to be on Juneteenth or something like that. Is that when she's been promoting? Guys, I'm tired. I've been up for over 24 hours. Y'all just bear with me. Bear with me.
You good, but there's a lot of great stuff going on. And I mentioned on that, the whole giving thing, and I just want to say this for everybody that's listening. When you're donating and you're giving products and supplies, make sure it's not used. Don't be so disrespectful when you do that. That's sad. You see people, they'll take hand-me-down stuff and give it to somebody, knowing you don't wear that stuff no more, got holes and stuff in it, you want to give it to somebody. That's just wrong. If you're doing canned goods, don't get none that been expired. Just go to the Dollar Tree, Dollar General. Kroger's even have 10 for $10 specials. Don't do hand-me-down stuff. That's just so embarrassing. People do that and thinking it is good. That's not cool at all. And when it comes to them Jordans, you're gonna pay $225 for a brand spanking new Jordans. You're not gonna sit no hand-me-down Jordans. You're gonna pay for some brand new ones. So when you're giving to people that's less fortunate, don't do hand-me-down stuff. I just want to plug that in, Desiree, because some folks, man, they just don't care at all. Don't be so disrespectful when you do that.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Can always keep the golden rule. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So if you're not going to want something that is, broken down and no longer functional, don't donate that stuff. Come on, guys. We're trying to, set good examples and make a difference in our community. Did you want to say something, Ms. Harvest?
Oh no, I was just agreeing. I was thinking in agreement with you guys. You want to do unto others that you would have them do unto you, right? If you don't want to, if you're less fortunate in need, you don't want to have to dig through bags of clothes with holes in them and dyed and cut up and all that. Why would you want to do that? Give those to someone else for them to have to do that. So yeah, I think we should just live and move with that, the golden rule. Treat others how we want to be treated.
Because I'm going to tell you this. When you go like the Goodwill, the Salvation, man, people that got money, when they donate them clothes to the Salvation and stuff, that stuff is brand spanking new. It's not holy. It's not dyed out. It's like they just got it from the department store and gave it. But you know why they do that? Because they mindset. Everything's so a mindset. They value. And it's like, yeah, it was value to me, but I know it's going to be value to someone else who can't afford a brand new suit for a job interview or wherever they got to go to. So let's start thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? If people that got money can give stuff that's brand spanking new, they probably wore it one time and they gave it away. Develop that mindset. That just made me think about that, because I'm telling you, man, them folks get some brand spanking new stuff. You just thought they just came out of the department store, but they only wore it one time and they just donate and give it away. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Look, I'm that person that still has things with tax. It's not like we donate it because of the fact that we buy it out of impulse, I think, or we think we need it when we don't need it. Okay.
Also, that's another podcast. But Harvest, go ahead and plug in what you got going on. I know you're on different social media platforms. You're working on an album. Is that correct? Also.
Yes, it's tentatively scheduled to drop in August if all things go accordingly. I have a new single that's going to be dropping June 23rd, which will be my fourth single off of my debut album. So that's what I'm busy working on. Uh, you know, my music wise, but again, I'm doing the tour with the ladies as well. So we're doing that this summer, and so I have a lot of things in the works, artist wise, that I'm just super excited about. I'm just again elated with everything that God is doing, um, in this season in my life.
You know, you
And
should be excited. You should always be excited. Always be excited. Go ahead, Desiree.
and I was just gonna say also for myself, I was asked to be on the She Vets It, SHEVETS, and then space and then IT. So of course, my passion is with veterans. I work for the Veterans Treatment Court for the city of Dallas out of South Oak Cliff. So anything that I could do to support veterans. And so tomorrow I will actually be on her podcast at tomorrow Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. So I'll be on her podcast tomorrow at 2:00. You can find that link on either the She Vets It page on either Facebook or Instagram, as well as you'll find it on my page too. So you guys tune in tomorrow and hear a little bit more about what our Veterans Treatment Court does, and have another day with me.
And that's what's up, Desiree. Keep it the great work you and the corn as well. The corn before we get back with Harvest. Go ahead and plug in the corn what you got going on. You a lot of stuff in your end. Let everybody know what you got going on. How can they follow? How can they really be plugged in with you?
Okay, so yeah, I'm just right now. I'm just a full intern right now. I'm just doing work. This is that stage where, as a man, you got to get your work up until 40, and then you go hard after that. But so right now, I do a lot of just promotion. You know, making videos, small things that just kind of help people out when the rest of the world ain't paying them no mind. I try to help people scrape the pot without getting my own hands in it. You know, yeah, Harvest. If you do have anything like as far as like flyers, anything like that, my DM is always open for you to send them. And I just kind of do lives that where I randomly bring people on, or I'm just showing businesses and videos out there. I am trying to be the best virtual assistant, so you can check out my website, answerus.org. It's a full system behind it. Like I said, I'm taking it slow right now because I'm just proving my work. That's all. But yeah, I reach out Facebook. I'm around.
And you know what? Don't say try. You are.
He is. He's doing it with
Right.
excellence. I don't know.
You are.
Yeah, you always
he's
get
got
me
the
with that
excellence.
too.
He's got the excellence thing down. That's for sure. Okay, he goes
Yeah,
above and
you
beyond,
are.
and we
You
definitely
are.
appreciate him.
Most definitely, Coin. You are. I don't. Reason why I don't like to say the word try. Try sound like you don't believe in yourself. You're not confident in yourself. When you say try, you are doing it. And I applaud you, the Coin. I see the growth in you. I see the elevation in you, my brother. Keep doing what you're doing. You are connecting. A lot of people speak very highly of you. The Coin. I'm not saying that because we on the show. I'm telling you from what I know on the back end that people are really speak very highly of you. They supportive of you. They really appreciate you helping them out. So, my brother, I give you a cigar right now. I don't do the roses. Roses for the women, but I give you a cigar. My brother, keep doing what you're doing. Stay focused, and what we say, keep that workhorse mentality going. And I salute you right now here on the podcast.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Let me give you a salute because this wouldn't be possible without you. Like, trust me, this whole Harvest, even Desiree. I don't know if y'all seen me when I first started. It was bad, and it really took Furman to actually kind of help me to even get in front of this camera. And you look at any of the old videos, I looked like got the shades on. I was not ready for this life, and so Furman really taking the time out to kind of walk me through how all this works. He really saved me and gave me the confidence. So I always owe any of this video time, all of that to him because he helped. really helped me out with that.
Oh yeah, because it always been in you the whole time. You just had to release it, unleash that beast within. Like I said, I know you're doing great things, and like I said, people speak very highly of you, as well. So, man, keep up, Desiree, as well. People love her spice. People love her personality and stuff. And they said she's spicy. Yeah, she is spicy, and I appreciate it.
I lick it, but I am always myself. So I'm this way on this show. I'm this way out in the community. I put my heart and soul behind anything that I do. It's, don't half-ass it. That's what I do. Okay. So, if sometimes you can agree with me, sometimes you're going to disagree, but in the end, I am very supportive. And, speaking of that, Furman, when are we starting I know we've got some dates booked in June. Do we have any other openings in June? If there's anybody that's listening in that wants to come on, talk about what you're doing, wanting to just network, because that's really what this podcast has done. I think for every individual that's come on here is the networking. I know that Daquan, even, got me involved last night with another, business and was asking my opinion on stuff. And I was just like so honored by that. And so it's about helping each other. It's about supporting one another. And so if you guys have anything that's coming up, please get with Furman, and he'll let you know what dates do we have openings in June?
I have to look at it. I think we do got quite a few openings. I know we have Rebecca Slater coming back on next month. She reached out to me last night. So her and her friend gonna be on with us next month. So I'm very excited because they got an upcoming pageant coming up in June. So she's gonna be back with us on that date. So we'll get everything. I will shoot you on the back end on what dates we have open,
Okay.
and we just take from there. But I know we're not gonna prolong tonight because I know Desiree, I want you to get your rest. You've been up all day.
Look it. I'm sorry that I look so.
Nah,
guys,
you
listen.
good. You good.
Look,
Yeah,
I
that British
definitely, I'm still here. That's what matters. Okay, is that I'm still, I didn't give up. I didn't say, yeah, I got to set this one out. So, and I'm excited to hear that Rebecca's coming back. Rebecca's like my sister, like that I just met. Okay, love Rebecca. And that pageant, I think, is in Hawaii, so we definitely want to show her support. And then that same organization will be actually coming to the Dallas area in August. So if anybody's interested in that, please make sure that you tune in when Rebecca is on and get with Rebecca. She is so supportive. We love her.
Most definitely. Like I said, we want to get Harvest. Go ahead and plug in. How can people get in contact with you? How can they reach you on all your social media platforms?
Yes, well, you can follow me on IG at I_am_harvest, HARVEST. I'm on Facebook at The Official Harvest. You can also visit my website, which is currently still working on, but it's there. You can visit my website at www.theofficialharvest.com. I'm on TikTok at I_am_harvest. On YouTube, I am at I Am Harvest. So pretty much everywhere I'm Harvest. But yeah, you can reach out to me through all those platforms. You can also send me an email just to send a quick shout out, prayer requests, to say hi, or for booking. You can email me at iamharvest214@gmail.com. That's iamharvest214@gmail.com. Or you can also email harvestegymusic@gmail.com. That's my label, HARVESTEGY music@gmail.com.
And that's what's up. Hey, you mentioned you was divorced, right? Harvest, you mentioned you was divorced earlier.
Yes.
And let me ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you this question too off the bat. Have guys approach you and say, God said you're gonna be my wife? I know I used to hear that slang back in the day where guys would walk up to a woman and say, God said you're gonna be my wife. Have that ever happened to you before?
My first husband, that's happened. That's how we knew each other because we was in church together.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
But we wasn't dating or talking or nothing like that. But out the blue, he said God told him I was supposed to be his wife. I was like, well, wait a minute, I don't know about all that, right? Long story short, we did end up getting married. But yeah, I haven't had anyone else come up to me since then, right? Since the divorce, especially saying nothing like that.
Do people still say that? I remember they used to say that, like, God will approach a woman and say, God said you're gonna be my wife, and then the lady would say, God didn't tell me that.
Yeah, that's what the lady, that part. That's what the lady would. Yeah. I don't know if they still doing that though. I don't know. That was when he said that to me. That was 20 years ago. My husband and I, we were married for 20 years, and our divorce was final October 2021. No, October 2022. The divorce was final. We separated in December 2021. So, the whole dating scene and whatever you want to call it has changed from when I was single originally. It's not the same.
Yeah, we talked about this before, and I had this conversation with people. Back in the day, especially when we was growing up, when we went out on a date, we used to go pick the girl up from our parents' house. We used to go in the same car. You can't do that stuff no more nowadays. It's creepy now, and I had this conversation with women before. And these guys come to them and say, yeah, come over to my place. And she's like, I'm not coming to your place. I don't know you like that. But people are so open to that now. Yeah, come on to my place. I don't know you like that. But it's like back then, we used to go out in public. It's like we're going out on a date, we go out in public. But now it's like, come on to my house, or I go to your house.
Interesting.
That's because they don't want to invest. They don't want to have to pay for a date. They're like,
that must be what it is, because I can't see.
It's not. They want to have sex. That's why they do that. They want to have sex.
The first night, the first date.
Yeah, they do on the first. Yeah.
They call that what they call that, one night stands, right? That's what they call it.
They used to call it one night stand. They don't call it that. No, they don't even say one night stand, but that's what it is. But they want to have sex, and then it's like, girl, I'm not going to your house. I don't know you like that. And especially if you go out with a woman, you don't want to go to her house. I don't know her like that either. We could meet in public. Matter of fact, you can't even drive in the same car no more, because these folks crazy. You come with somebody's car, they might not even see you no more. So it's like, we're going to go out. You go in your car, I go in my car. Matter of fact, you leave first, because I don't want you to follow me either, because now you got some weirdos out there who will sit there and follow you. But you know what? The women, y'all got it bad for the ladies, man. It's like,
look, the real AD posted on her page earlier today and asked the question: when you meet somebody on social media, how quickly do you soon give them like your cell phone number? And everybody was giving their 2 cents. Some was like they just keep communicating through social media. Then after they get a taste of it, they'll decide if they want. I said, baby, no, you get that number ASAP, because somebody said in the first 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I said, agree, because I'm running that number. I'm running that number to see, is that your number? Is that your woman's number? Is that number registered underneath your mama? I want to know, like, baby, I've watched Catfish too many times. You ain't about to blame me, okay? And so I'm like, yes, I agree. In the first 2 to 3 minutes, I need to know your phone number, because you don't know who you're talking to on the other end, right?
That's true.
And so, but it's just the difference of our dating, thing. A lot of people are not invested in having the relationship. They're just invested in having relationships.
Yeah, just said it with somebody. But I know a lot of times it changes. And if you do go out with somebody, meet in public, go in separate cars. If you leave first, because I don't want you to follow me. You got the weirdos out there. Be careful out there. You know what I'm saying? Not scaring nobody, but be mindful you get involved with. You got some bipolar, schizophrenic people out there.
Look, they obviously don't know how I drive, okay? Because I'll be losing you. You ain't. Look, I be cutting into that traffic. You ain't about to follow me nowhere, okay? I'm gonna roll up to some place. You're gonna be like, never mind.
They said that Tracy he want to make sure you get home safe and sound. That's all. I just want to make sure you get home safe and sound. That's all.
That's what they like to say, right? I just want to make sure you're safe.
Can I come here for a little bit?
Look, that I guess maybe that's the blessing of living. Maybe that's the blessing of living so far away from the Dallas area. My commuting and stuff. Look, if that man follows me all the way home, he does not deserve a second date, okay? Because he's gonna be paying some gas to follow me back home.
I just want to make sure you got home safe and sound. That's all. Make sure you got home safe and safe.
Not your
Or
responsibility.
yeah, or the whole call somebody. Then I know do this. You take somebody, you call somebody. Somebody told me this story where the guy called the girl. No, he texted the girl first. Then a couple of seconds later, he called her. And you know her response was, "I called to make sure my message went through."
Block. Look, delete, block.
It's weird stuff. I mean, the stories I hear, it's like, wow, you can't make this stuff up. But hey, we about to get off the air tonight, ladies and gentlemen. With me and Desiree gonna be back here Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So man, y'all join in with us on 10 a.m. Like I said, man, follow us on Twitter. Man, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And like I said, we appreciate everybody for helping us reach the 200 episode of Walking This Way Impact Book Podcast on all social media platforms. And we got 1,000 downloads as well. So that's a big accomplishment as well. So man, we thank everybody for supporting us and everything else. I'm gonna let Desiree go ahead and read. We got a comment in the comment section. Desiree, go ahead.
Oh, Andrew, thank you so much for being with us all this evening, and we love it whenever somebody wants to get to ask us questions and be part of the conversation. So thank you so much. And then let me see here. It said, thank you everyone. And Harvest, I love the new project on Bandcamp.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. Shout out. Thank you so much for your support for me and the Female CHH Empowerment Tour. So thank you so much.
Man, that's what's up right there. You should never know who you touch and come across. Like I said, we're about to get off the air. Like I said, me and Desiree, we're back here Saturday morning at 10 a.m. here on Walking This Way Impact Boys Podcast. And also, when they tell you about this, give a big shout out. I got this quote from C. Dean Williams. He said, always remember the graveyard. Everybody had one thing in common. They thought they were going to see tomorrow, and they didn't. Let's live life like it's our last. In other words, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today, because tomorrow is not promised, let alone 5 seconds not promised to us. But man, enjoy your life, cultivate your gift, work in the spirit of excellence, and most importantly, always conquer. Have that workhorse mentality. Everybody probably know I've been posting a lot. That workhorse mentality, getting things done. We only got 24 hours within the day. And like I said, tomorrow's not promised, so let's make the best of it like it is our last, of course, you know what I'm saying? Desiree, one more time, go ahead and plug in the podcast that you're going to be on tomorrow, how people can plug in, how they can support you, and how can they really share it on all social media platforms.
So it is on my Facebook page, which you can find me tagged in. Anybody else that's on this call tonight, if you don't, but it's underneath Desiree Bailey on Facebook. You'll see it. It's underneath She Vets It, as well as if you just want to go to Instagram, my account is there. It's underneath Two Madams. And then you can find it where I posted it on there talking about the event. It is going to be through Instagram. That's how we're doing the podcast tomorrow. So, but go on there, friend She Vets It, and be sure to support them. It's an amazing story. The way that she and I connected, I literally reached out to Althea, who is a veteran herself, and I wanted to attend something that she was hosting. It was her first event ever. And I got to talking, and she was like, I haven't done this before. I've just done these Instagram podcasts. The next thing you know, I was connecting her with any and everybody I knew within the community. And before long, she was like, I never thought this event could blow up so big. And so that just goes to show you how God works and how he puts us in each other's paths to be able to support one another. So definitely want to support She Vets It. You'll find all kinds of different resources on there for veterans, especially our female veterans. And then tune in tomorrow at 2:00.
Awesome stuff. DeQuan, you next. Go ahead and plug in my brother's got going outside, walking his ways. You muted.
Oh, my bad, y'all. So yeah, y'all could reach me at answerus.org. It's your favorite virtual assistant. Y'all catch me out on Facebook, Daquan Jones. I think my Instagram is Humble Jones with a Z.
It's humble.
Instead of an S. Yeah, see, I don't do Instagram too much, but I'm building that up. Yeah, just your favorite supporter. Reach out to me. Yeah.
That's up. And also, I want my lady D to read these comments. Go ahead, Desiree.
So from Miss Jones, it says, "This is how it is done." And I hope that you heard, we definitely gave a shout out for your event that is coming up. And so this is who you need to reach out to, guys, if you are wanting to volunteer, if you're wanting to donate, get that information over to her and make sure that you are part of that event that's coming up in Fort Worth.
Also, she put another one in there too, Lady D. Also,
She Bets It. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Go to the She Bets It. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I definitely want to make sure that we have as many supporters that we can for our veterans. There is so many resources out there that people do not know about. So if you do have any questions, if you're a veteran or you know somebody that is a veteran that could benefit from any resources in the community, you can reach out to me. Also, if you have any Class C misdemeanor citations by the city of Dallas, and this is not even just for, I'm going to say this all around, not even just for our veterans. If you're a civilian and you have a Class C misdemeanor citation with the city of Dallas and you want to get that taken care of without having to pay anything out of your pocket, you can definitely reach out to me or call our community courts. If you're going to reach out to me, it's going to be 214-422-3406. And that's, I take care of the Veterans Court, but I will definitely connect you if you want to be a participant in the drug court or in our community court. And so if you want to email me, you can email me at desiree.bailey@dallas.gov. And so that's DESIREE.BAILEY
So we got another one too. Big shout out to Gabriel Willard from our ATL.
Support Miss Harvest. Yes, thank you guys so much for giving her so many shout outs. We have definitely enjoyed her being on the show.
And also Desiree, Miss Jones, she left the
Okay, so Miss Jones did leave her email address. So if you're listening or you listen to this back on one of the podcasts, that's going to be jonesdi10@yahoo.com. So that is to get in touch with Miss Jones. If you don't do it through one of the social media platforms, you can definitely email her directly. And that's going to be, again, jonesdi10@yahoo.com.
Awesome stuff. And she did respond back to you.
Yes, you're very welcome. Thank you so much.
And that's what's up. Also, man, hey, go to our website. Big shout out to Cody for doing our website. You can go, you can donate, you can go and listen to the latest episodes that we have done for some time now. So you can go, you can shop in our online store, and that's the website right there. You can purchase some merchandise, like I'm rocking one of the t-shirts. I run $1 billion corporation, walking this way is impact for us. So go support, get some merchandise, help support us, because we want to take this thing to the next level when it comes to getting more equipment, laptops, lighting, cameras, you name it. We want to take this thing to the next level, because people keep approaching me as well, Desiree, when we're going to go into the studio, when we're going to have our own studio, when we're going to invite people to the studio. Permits, hey, we love to have our own studio where we can all be in person and people can come in and hang out with us. So I look forward to that time when it comes. So, man, we are very excited. I think that really sums it up. Hold on.
Karma's coming on to say hi to you guys too. You know she's got to put it in the last there. So Miss Jones says, I appreciate the hospitality and the Nuggets. Great platform. And then it says, Fort Worth Black News, please review with them Walk in His Ways, Impact Voice podcast at Staple in the Community.
Awesome stuff. We had to okay. Then. Oh, awesome. I mean, we got plugged in, and that's what she's saying, Desiree? Or
I'm reading. Hold on a second. You know I'm tired. Don't be asking me. You need to ask Daquan, the smart one over here.
Well, you got the voice, and I love to hear your voice.
Look, even when it's tired, you like to hear it. So let's see. It says, please review with them the Walk in His Ways Impact Voice podcast, a staple in the community. So maybe she's giving us a shout out to them to get with us and, see what all we're doing, or we're already, I think it's something we should research, just not tonight, or you guys can. I'm going to go to bed.
Right. One man asked Daquan, what you get out? Daquan, what you got out of that? I know that.
It sound like a connect. You reach out to the Fort Worth Black News, please review them. Or she's putting somebody on to you, but it definitely sounds like a connection is trying to be made. That'd be good too.
what's
She
up.
said, I got you. So she's definitely trying
Yep.
to help connect us. Look, we got you. We might be a little slow, but we got you. She said, newspaper review later. I plugged them. So awesome.
Yeah.
We appreciate that support very much.
And then she said something else.
Okay. She said, that's my associate.
Okay, cool. Appreciate you, Miss Jones. Me and Desiree appreciate you last night hanging out with us. One more time, Harvest, go ahead and plug in one more time. Cause we know people just time in before we're ready to get off. But go ahead and plug in what you got going on, Harvest.
Well, what's coming up is the Taste of Soul Mesquite. It's going to be Memorial Day weekend. September the 28th is the main event. It's going to be on the grounds of Trinity Christian Worship in Mesquite, Texas. It's free. It's going to be all type of merchandise and food vendors there from all over the DFW area, as well as a whole lineup of fire local gospel CHH Christian artists. So if you're in the area, please come out to that event. Bring the whole family, the kids. Also, the Female CHH Empowerment Tour is kicking off this summer. We're going to be at that event, but we're also going to be back in Mesquite June 10th. We're going to be in Tyler. We're also going to be in Dallas. So you can find more information about that at www.femalechhempowermenttour.com, www.femalechempowermenttour.com. You can follow me on social media by going to theofficialharvest.com. Find out everything that's going on with me, my dates coming up, where I'm going to be. I'm all on social media as well. Facebook at The Official Harvest, Instagram at I_am_harvest.
That's what's up.
And
go ahead.
yeah, so for James on there, thank you, James, so much for tuning in and supporting us. And he just wanted to say hello to all of us on here. So James and anybody else that has, commented on there tonight or is listening, if you have something that's coming up and maybe you just don't want to be on camera, maybe that's not for you, please still tag us and or share with us. You can inbox it if you want to, or you can follow any of us on here, and we would be happy to start sharing any of the events that you guys have coming up, or maybe it's just supporting you. So whether that's reaching out to Harvest for some prayers, definitely don't hesitate to contact one of us on the show tonight. Okay.
And also give a big shout out to the Quan. I know he's live streaming on his end as well. Big shout out on his YouTube side and his Facebook side. So we are going all over the place tonight as well. I know we live streaming on Twitter. Harvey, is you on Twitter as well? Did you have a Twitter?
I am on Twitter, but I'm not as active on Twitter. I don't know when the last time I tweeted, y'all.
I be on Twitter, and I'm constantly building up the account for us because we live stream on Twitter every week. So I most definitely want to follow you on Twitter. I hear a lot of people talking about, man, Twitter's hard. It's not hard. It just, you gotta stay consistent with it. And the more you the more you start reaching out to people, the more they start responding back to you. It's just like any social media platform, just have to put in work. But we'll be glad.
And all it takes is one post, and then all of your network that's supporting you. So for instance, past guest Fred with JFL Productions, he is constantly liking, sharing whatever he can to support anything that I know that I'm putting out there. I know even I've seen him on Daquan stuff and Furman stuff. So if you have something going on, put it on there. Your people will definitely share it with their people. That's how it works. That's what networking is all about. So also did not want to forget to give that shout out to Fred, because he has been nothing but amazing.
Man, that's what's up right there. We're gonna do one more commercial, and after that, we're gonna go off the night. I know we've been saying it, a lot of people been popping in with their great comments and they love. We'll do one more commercial, and after that, we're gonna finish up and wrap up our podcast. All right.
M. Green Enterprises, the home of Malira Green, your confidence coach. She is a licensed clinical social worker who serves as a therapist, clinical supervisor, master healer, and transformative speaker. Malira is fiercely committed to guiding individuals to become unstuck and motivated to confidently reach their goals while owning their God-given gifts. She serves as the bridge between your caterpillar and butterfly moment. If you are ready to transform, check out www.maliratransforms.com, where she is ready to transform with you.
Also, man, by the way, we are accepting commercials. You see, we should be playing commercials on the show. So if you got a commercial where it's a music video, whether it's an upcoming event, or it's just commercial about what you do, holler at us, get with us. Either get with me, either get with the Corn, Desiree, or on myself. Big shout out to Shay, get it with Shay, Ursa, any one of us. to plug in your commercial. And if you won't work with your commercial, give it to Quan. He can put something together. He's very good at that. We want to plug in what you got going on. Share it with the community what you got going on. So we are accepting commercial. We are accepting commercial ads. And if you want, and it also is a fee with it. So if you wanted your commercial to be played, hey, pay the fee, email the Quan. He will work on it. If he ain't got it together, he'll work on it for you as well. So we want to play your commercial here on the show. So man, plug in with us. We still got some more. We still got some more comments.
What's coming in? And while you're pulling that up on the screen before I read it, just also if you're needing help with your brand, reach out to Cody Dixon. He was also a guest on here. He's the one who helped us with our website, and so he is also offering free advice all the time on Instagram and on Facebook. So follow him and make sure that you guys are reading what he's putting out. That is good free content right there. So make sure you get tuned in with Cody Dixon. And so 5/20/23. Yeah, is that not his last name? Did I say it wrong?
Davis. You said
Davis. Shit. Sorry, I didn't mean cuss either. Sorry, Davis. Sorry, Cody. Love me anyways. 5/20/23. It says Pop Barbecue event, vendors $35. Use code LA. I hope that's an I 88. Okay, DI Jones sent you a check out. Okay, so I don't know if all that's for us, but anyway, so you guys see that on the screen. It'll be in the comments as well. So definitely, so that barbecue event, if you guys are interested in that. So James is also saying, who's that cool dude in the top corner? Hey, listen, don't be picking on my friend, okay? I am.
Every D glasses on.
Look at me. I'm gonna fight you, James, for DeQuan, okay? Because that is my friend right there, and he is so amazing. And so even on the show last night, Ms. Jones, talking about how supportive you are, DeQuan, when Furman said that people are bragging about what you're doing, that is absolutely what we're hearing from everybody. So thank you, and continue to keep doing what you're doing, because it is making a difference, even if you're not seeing it on your end. So, and then also. Yep, and then it says, great, let's go. Also, Diana Jones at Prime America. Thank you, Prime America. Y'all, I'm sorry, my eyes are like squinting over here. All of your insurance needs, free quotes mentioned. Oh yeah, so she also will do a free quote if you're interested in insurance. So just mention this podcast that you saw it here on Walking His Ways Impact Voice podcast, and she will also give you a free quote for insurance. So definitely reach out to her for that. See all these good entrepreneurs we have just doing things, thriving, and giving back to their community. That's what we love to share here. And I'm not reading that. No, I'm just kidding. DeQuan Jones. Yes. Did I emphasize that enough for you, DeQuan? Yes.
Awesome stuff. Man, we appreciate everybody for the love and support. I know we better get ready to get on and everybody just start flooding in with stuff. We appreciate everybody. We really do. We're very thankful, very humble for y'all. Harvest, do you have any final remarks for the listening audience that's listening right now on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook Live? Not only that, this will be up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, on all social media platforms.
Well, I want to mention one other place I'm going to be at actually this weekend. This Saturday, I will be in New Orleans at the Indie Christian Artist Gospel Showcase. So if you're in that area, I think it's 3101 Bruxelles Lane. It's in the French Quarter. So I will be in New Orleans this weekend if you're in that area. But last remarks, I would like to just let everybody know, trust God, keep pushing, know that God is for you. He loves you. No matter where you've been in life, no matter where you're at right now, know that God is for you, that He got you, and to continue to follow and trust God. And keep the faith.
Man, that's what's up. Keep the faith. Faith without works is dead. No, faith comes hearing by word of God. So build that faith up. And I know we got some more stuff. I know we got some more stuff coming up.
Pop it up. Let's read it. We don't want to leave anybody out. Bring it up here. Also visit my page, D.I. Jones, Facebook raffle time, electric scooter, and much more. Thank y'all and good night. Thank you, Miss Jones.
And that's what's up right there. So that's pretty much, I think that's it. I think if that sums it up, we good. If anybody have anything else they want to leave, we're ready to get off.
No, thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys Saturday morning at 10 o'clock on Walking His Ways, Impact Voice podcast.
That's it, man. Y'all have a great night, and we'll be back here. Like I said, me and Desiree back here Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Man, y'all have a great night. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your peace. Enjoy your rest. And most importantly, man, live life to the fullest. Be blessed, everybody. Peace.
Peace.
Amen, everybody.